bans coming out from these teams. Look at that. The Thresh ban, very important. In the solo mid tournament yesterday, Thresh, if you got Thresh, you won the game. Wow, Twisted Fate, they don't want to deal with both Twisted Fate and Shen, so a really nice pickup from MYM and the Shen. Alternate, Twisted Fate. MYM really love Twisted Fate Nocturne. They might go Nocturne Shen. They like the double gank that comes in with the Nocturne. Nocturne, you know, St. Vicious said Nocturne was the best jungler in Season 3 at the start of Season 3. He's the best lane ganker from all the people, but he's definitely dropped off because when you're in that 5 and you hear the Nocturne, everyone pulls back, everyone watches the AD carry, and Nocturne goes in so far. MYM love Jace. He's a big pickup for them.
Yeah, and these bans that MYM have used, Diana, Vi, Orianna, all, again, very reminiscent of this TSM tournament. They used those bans multiple times. I don't want to count exactly, but every time they did, if I remember, they did manage to pull that game out of the bag. For Enlaw's Diana, we saw it in their first couple of games yesterday. Yep. Terrifying up against Mistral once he started to get that snowball rolling, once he started to get the map control, roam around and just assassinate people as Diana does so well. But these are some very quick picks from Alternate, and I love the Volibear pickup.
Now, when Alternate pick Volibear, they also like to pick Singe. They like this double flip sort of combination that comes out from them. With the Twisted Fate card Initiate, you could see, I think you could see a Singe. Now, MYM's bans have been the same as exactly every game they played. All the games they played against Alternate last week, they banned Diana, Vi, Orianna. They really are locking out Pharrell Lord. They want him on Katarina, they want him on Lux. Stuff he's, I mean, we saw his Katarina yesterday. They lost that game.
He did pick up a quadra kill on that.
Yeah, but it just didn't quite work. The same way, you know, he's not quite as dominating because we saw just how dominating his Diana was.
Yeah, that was terrifying. We did see a couple of Varus Lulu lanes yesterday for a couple of different teams, mixing it up. Very strong, good poke, good sustain. Not sustain, but good survivability is what I'm looking for with the shields, with the wild growth from Lulu. This time, that Zyra could be support, could also still be in that mid lane.
Right, but I think MYM are saving their last pick for a Kayle. They really like Kayle. Singed coming in, and a Gragas. The crowd goes mad.
Where's Gragas going?
There's a Gragas in the game, and there's a TF in the game, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
Gragas support, Volibear support. I've seen Gragas in the jungle. That is not unheard of. Twisted Fate in the support role. I don't want to...
CC.
There's lots of different options in that. Singe, I'm pretty sure we're going to have to say Singe is going to go solo. He's going to go to the top lane. He needs that farm.
Yep.
Singe cannot be gimped in that situation.
They love the double flip for these
guys.
Volibear
scales very well on health alone, so he could perhaps get away with sitting him down there in the support role and just building straight health items, a lot of Kindle gems, some good cooldown reduction, and he could benefit from that.
Yeah, he just... It's got to be Gragas, like, surely. No one else would pick it for him. He'd think they were trolling him. Could be... Okay, there's Nocturne. They love the Nocturne jungle. They love it with the Shen. So Jace mid lane, Nocturne jungle, Zyra, Varus bot. They do like Zyra support. Varus, we don't see it that much from them. But MYM, they're definitely looking at the strong ganks right now. They've played a lot of Nocturne, and they're pretty much the only team that does. Like, in the competitive scene too much. How often do you see it? And J-Ree's currently holding onto the TF.
I'm just watching them twitch, but it could go either way.
It's got to be Pharrell Lord on TF. Oh,
it's still there. Of course, we have seen teams do last second sweeps, we'll see. But
yeah.
I want to talk again, MYM, this Nocturne pick. Not many people have been playing him at the moment. You did mention, St. Vicious said he was the strongest jungler at the start of Season 3. We've had a couple of changes, item changes, playstyle changes. He started to fall out a little bit, but MYM played him in almost every group stage game back at CBIT, back at the IEM World Championships there. They do like to stick in him. He is a confident go-to champ for them, and now they've got him in this roster with those other globals, with that other long-range, hard poke, strong initiate.
Right.
Alternate gonna have to be on their toes from that moment he sits level 6.
It's a great initiate, you know. I was saying the 5, you know, it doesn't work too well in 5-man play because once you hear the Nocturne, everyone on the team backs up and they cover the AD carry. But if Shen is ulting that Nocturne as well, all of a sudden you have 2 really tanky people straight on the enemy AD carry, and there's not that much you can do about it. They love the Nocturne. MYM really playing champions they know. Alternate are playing Gragas.
There's a fizz in the crowd. Well, it's not a fizz, it's a stitch, but it looks more like a fizz.
Yeah, it does look like
and yes, J-Ree has stuck with the Twisted Fate, so it's Twisted Fate support.
He does have some hard CC. I guess it kind of works with the Caitlyn. It's 2 kind of poke champions. He has mana regen from blue carding the minions, and they're probably just going to be shoving the wave. I think that's how this is going to work.
We've got Pharrell Lord with teleport. He's on blue side. possibility. Caitlyn Twisted Fate go mid. Gragas takes blue buff, teleports down to bottom lane, 2v1s.
Yep.
And we have Caitlyn and Twisted Fate just hard shoving that mid lane into turret over and over again, trying to shut down that and get that very early on.
Right, now MYM know this possibility. Gragas 1v2 is definitely on, he needs the blue buff if he wants to do that. We saw in North American LCS recently, for sure, the other team, when they expect that sort of Gragas Karthus, they invade the blue buff. They don't want him to get that blue buff.
Yeah, so we'll see exactly how this level 1 shapes up. This is game number 1 between Alternates and Meet Your Makers for the seeding and the prize money here in the Summer Promotion Qualifier in LCS Lille Road Trip.
And it's also just bragging rights. These guys meet so much. They're the highest quality amateur teams in Europe, so they're going to meet a lot, and they're both doing a very defensive level 1 here. I was saying they want to take the blue buff away. I don't think they're expecting the 2v1.
I mean, we saw some very aggressive level 1 starts from a lot of the teams yesterday. We always had at least one team going into the other jungle, trying to take something away. I got my sides completely confused. Of course, Gragas isn't going to take blue and go bottom. He's on blue side, not purple. Right. So it went completely backwards. But we'll see as now that timer ticks through and the creeps start to spawn, which way they're going. Because they are shaking things up completely. Zara going to head up, planting a ward, I suspect, around the corner. There we go, at Arena's feet, but he's not going to have time to kill that anyway. Just going to watch that there. So we are going to see Libic and Makler. They're definitely going towards that bottom lane, where they should be. Charu going to stick with his Jace in mid from the looks of things. Then it looks like they're going to take... See, I've seen a couple of interesting starts here. A couple of jungle tweaks, a couple of changes that people have realized. You can do golems with your jungler, then do red buff, give the red buff to one of your solo lanes, and providing the jungler still shares experience, he will still hit level 2, still get his abilities, and be able to clear the rest of his jungle. Then, of course, your solo laner, in this case, possibly Charu, could have that red buff and could be fine with it. But no, they were just sharing the golem experience, and he's going to take that red himself. I mean, you can only do that on champions that are guaranteed to get auto attacks without putting themselves at too much risk. They do give it away to the Volibear, and Gragas is backing. He's going to TP bot for the 1v2. Kerp has done that strategy again up in the top lane. He started with a pink ward and immediately kills Shen's ward. So he's now got that paranoia aspect involved in. He doesn't know what's coming up their river. He's got to play it very careful and watch his timing, watch his spacings very well. But Lord's immediately taken very low in this bottom lane. The Ignite has been burned by MYM. He's now going to have to play this very safe early on, start chugging through as many of those potions as he can. He's got 6 of them, so he should be okay for a while. But he's got to try and CS from a distance. Aranea coming down straight through a ward. Should give him a little bit of safety as Makler and Libic back away.
Yeah, this is the key to the 1v2. The jungler usually has to come and give him some help. You can see Gragas, he's preferring to poke instead of farm. He doesn't want them to have free harass on him, to what extent he can. But I'm expecting to see this Zyra Varus do everything they can to punish. And wow, you can see that single target body slam on Varus doing so much damage. Yeah, we do see from not dashing in towards Libic, misses that one. We do, of course, have that mid lane as we expected. Jayri and Matalex in there, shoving that hard onto Charu. Aranea does find Makati around the corner, does get the fling on the slows going down, but the fear's going to come out from Makati now. Remember, Aranea has his passive, so he's going to get a lot of health back from that. The QE combo misses from Jace, but then he leaps in, forces a flash away from Aranea and pops that passive. Jerry and Medlex a little bit slow to react, and in all fairness, the bottom lane from MYM was almost there too, so that could have been disastrous for Alternate. Good disengage. It could have. It was a very vital EQ from Jace. It's such a shame it missed. Nocturne, he's kind of vulnerable to the invades because he can't run away very well. He has a spell shield, but Volibear would punish him if he had the numbers advantage. Sadly, it didn't quite work out for him, but you can tell they want to put pressure on this Nocturne. They don't want him to hit 6 quite as fast. Yeah, and we see Freljord going in again, getting quite aggressive onto Libic, dodges the snare, but takes a little bit more damage. Makler landing more auto attacks in turn, gets the slowdown, forces another body slam to safety. For Freljord, of course, every time he uses an ability, he gets a percent of his health back. Just going to start drinking and getting that all back up again under turret, start throwing out some more barrels and farming as they go. MYM starting to be a little bit more defensive down there too. Of course, they know Aranea was up towards the middle of the map and he could sneak down. There are patches in that river that aren't covered by their wards, and Makler choosing to base. They did force the TP mid lane. They are just putting so much pressure on this lane. Twisted Fate, he doesn't even have any AP, and wow,
Libic going very low down here, pulls the flash. Ferelord, nice play, getting quite aggressive with that body slam, taking some big creep damage here as well, though, and actually that slowing Vine picking on him quite a bit.
It's just amazing the amount of pressure this Gragas is able to put on a 1v2 lane. His body slam is doing immense damage. When it hits one target, that damage amplifies, and it's definitely paying off. I'm honestly quite surprised.
See then, how's the mid lane shaping up? We've got 36 CS on Caitlyn, 22 on Jace, 22 CS on both of the mid laners. I said that's great, fix up some more, but they're staying very even despite these lane swaps. Flash forward from Charu, gonna get the knockback on Jay Ree. Actually gets him out of the fear tether. He does have to flash away a little bit as well. This time the EQ lands, but Charu taking a lot of damage from Metalec. Need to try and pick a target because they're taking a lot of damage from this alternate AD carry. MYM do choose a back away. Makati now goes back in. He's got the fear tether on. The barrier has been used by Metalex, but there's a stun card from Jay Ree. They're going to keep chasing on this, but with a nice speed boost from Charu and use of Nocturne's own Q. He's got more than enough move speed to get out. I'm
not really quite sure what happened there. They had a slight miscommunication. They were going for different targets, but ultimately they're blowing summoners. Caitlyn still does have her flash though. Considering Jace flashed over Caitlyn to knock her back, I'd say that worked out in Alternate's favour.
Definitely so. Jace didn't pop his red pot either, so he's got that little bit of a heal there and that little bit of damage boost when he needs it. Good EQ combo hits both Metalex and Jerry this time. Now another Q lands from Nocturne onto Metalex, so he's getting lower by the second. He's run out of health, well, he doesn't have any health push, and he's got a tool to attack to try and get that health back up. But Makati going to be close to 6 soon. He's got a couple of jungle creeps that he can use, and as a result, this mid lane from Alternate do decide to back away.
I was saying at the start of the game how key the 1v2 is that the jungler comes along and helps him. But Ferelord has been fine. Aranea has been counter-jungling in the Nocturne. He's been helping so much in mid, which just shows how much faith they have in Ferelord in this 1v2. He's been able to put so much pressure on. The MYM are kind of scared about going all in.
Yeah, of course, diving in Gragas on tower is not the greatest idea, especially as he's now level 6. He's going to have that explosive cask to disrupt everything you so carefully plan. And he's got good sustain to stay down there. Do get wards placed all over that river though to make sure that MYM pairing is safe.
Shen is 6, so they're probably going to go all in on bot lane right now.
Shen is 6 and Ferelord just went very, very low. You can see it on the left-hand side of the screen. His health bar is minuscule.
I'm really surprised they didn't die that, considering Shen is 6. They had the extra protection, but they didn't have sight of Volibear. TF, he's not quite 6, so he wouldn't have been able to help out. He is a support TF, so he's not that powerful, but they want to put the pressure on, and they got to make use of this Shen ult.
Yeah, Ferelord comes straight back in with his teleport. That was off cooldown, so he didn't miss too much at all. Makati back into his red, of course, nice on the timer, on the respawn, 7.5 minutes. Very close to when he first killed it, and they've, of course, just seen Aranea in the bottom lane, so he knows he's more than safe to smite that very early.
Look at this great warding in mid lane. Red has that completely covered.
Leaving 2 creeps up to make sure he can go straight in early onto his mid lane. Charu gets the ult from Shen just to help out, but there is first blood. It's on to Jace, and they're going to keep chasing on a Metalex. The red buff is there. They're going to go under tower. No, because the Shen ult was cancelled. But Aranea has shown up. Gets the fling onto Charu. He's now slowed. There's a red buff, but they're going to try and do a lot of damage to Metalex. He does pick up 1 kill with the help of Volibear. Flashes away from Makati though. Makati's got no mana now. Aranea is going to keep chasing it up. He's only level 5 though to 6 is Nocturne. Is he going to go into this turret? The ult comes out from Caitlyn, flings him back, but he's taking a lot of damage. Then he has to leave when his passive kicks in.
Jace, he died trying to help his buddy there. He tried to knock Volibear away, but Volibear said, no, I want you instead. Flipped him into the Caitlyn. Caitlyn played that really aggressive because she still has flash. Paid off for Alternate. Equal exchange, but Alternate now have a crucial lead.
Q-Bomb was very, very low at that point. Took a lot of damage, of course, when Singe cancelled that teleport. And honestly, not sure it was the greatest timing. Charu was not taking that much damage when that shield went out. He didn't really need it. And if Q-Bomb took that much free damage at the risk of that shield, could have saved it, but it had got into a safer position and then used it on Charu when he really needed it.
Well, they really wanted the taunt more than anything else. They wanted the added CC rather than for such a defensive situation. And MYM seem to be looking at Dragon. They have pinged it. There is no one from Alternate in the area.
No, it's completely clear. Alternate seem to have no idea. They do actually ping onto it. They realize something's going on. They saw him, of course, leave that bottom lane as Ferelord is pushing it, but the Drake is dead long before they get there. Wall placed over the wall, Jay Reed just in time to see it die. They're going to have to watch MYM regroup, switch it up. They did obviously grab that mid turret after the gank with Volibear and Metalex's Caitlyn. So now they are going to switch their AD and Twisted Fate. I don't even want to call him true support. The AD and Twisted Fate down towards the bottom lane, trying to take the second turret of the game. But good job by MYM. The fact that that turret is down, with that Drake, they've evened the goal count up and kept this very close.
Yeah, that was really good Dragon from MYM. They knew when the enemy team was backing and they took great advantage of that. Now the problem is they have to keep their towers if they want to do it.
Parasol goes out, catches Ferrenalot, he gets snared up, doesn't manage to get out of that knock-up, and in comes Charu to help clean up the kill. Misses his EQ, but goes to chase on J.Roo with the speed boost anyway. Still...
Beautiful Zyro ult there, picking up the Gragas just on the edge of the radius of that ult. Jace came in, finished the job, and there wasn't anything Ferrenalot could do about it. This is the problem. They're trying to push the towers. They took a death. Can they keep doing that? That's really going to hit their confidence.
Yeah, he had to go very deep trying to zone those two out, and they made the best use of it they could. Charu teleporting down into the river, coming to join them with that fight. Cubone up in top lane, actually got quite a bit more health now than Singe, because he's got a giant spell up on him. And as a result, Curb got to stay a little bit safe.
Yeah, I think Singe went for the chain vest because he wanted the tears. He could have gone for the giant spell, but it is, after all, pretty much an all AD team. Shen kind of does magic damage, but that doesn't really count. So I think he's fine with the chain vest. He doesn't have the health, but he's not that confident enough to go behind the enemy tower, and who would be, really? He doesn't really have the wards for either. Nocturne, he considered lane ganking top, I think, but it's just going to backing. It is a Singed, after all. They would waste a lot on that, and I think they feel his ult would be better used somewhere else. But here's the crucial thing. Shen and Nocturne's ults are up. Expect to see plays happening really soon.
Libby goes and plants a pink ward in that top river bush, but there's another one in try anyway, so he should be okay. Now heading down towards this river, in actual fact, there's a Gragas sneaking around behind me. Use that body slam over the Baron wall to get around to this position. Aranea now coming down the lane. The snare's already been used. Curb's going to get taunted out by Cubone. Livic gets flung back in by Aranea. Curb's going very low though. Flashes away under the turret. Does drop down to Cubone. Picking one target. Livic flashes away from that barrel. Very nicely done by him. Explosive card misses completely. Livic did get the shield from Cubone, and Cubone's going to get self anyway. Dodges another barrel very well. Livic does still eventually go down after kiting backwards and forwards. But Ferrenalot and Alternate missed a lot of abilities there. They're going to go in the bottom lane. McCutty gets the fear onto J.Ree. Macklin doing a lot of damage. Does use his ult at the last second. Picks up that kill. Could have honestly used that ult on Caitlyn instead. Perhaps picked up to double.
No, left and right, things are going wrong for alternate attack. Gragas, that was a crucial explosive cast. It took them so long to kill the support. Shen is
fighting Charu. How long is this fight going to go on for? Charu's taking a lot of tower damage, and then the bite from Aranea dodges another EQ. And Charu decides that's time to leave.
Aranea does so much natural damage, but the problem was he actually ran out of mana. Gragas is doing a great number on the top tower. He might actually take it, which will be a great pickup for Alternate, considering what's happened. And Singed is chasing down a Varus.
Teleporting down into the bottom lane as they are chasing onto this Varus. That barrel goes out. It's not going to land again as Macro dodges around it. Does use his Baleful Cutlass onto Kurt, but it's not enough. The fling goes out anyway. They're going to leave the kill for Metalect.
Yeah, nice convergence. They used that teleport to great effect. Varus had nowhere to run to. Gragas, he just finished hitting on that top lane. They didn't quite get it. Towers are quite even now. MYM have a solid lead, but the question is, can they do anything while Nocturnes and Shen's ults are down?
Right, top turret very low, bottom turret down to half health, and now Kerp is switching up to push that one. It's one turret apiece so far in this game, but Meet Your Makers do have that overall gold lead, and of course they picked up that first Drake. We haven't really seen too much of an influential impact yet from Twisted Fate, as far as I'm concerned. He did do a little bit of help pushing that mid lane with Kaylin, but he hasn't really used his teleport, hasn't used his hard CC to really facilitate too much else otherwise.
It's more of a defensive Twisted Fate. Nice taunt from Shen, taunting Singed back to the tower. Jace is like, no, I gotta buy. Notice there's a lot of wards in the top side of the map. I think they're gonna plan on shoving this tower in. You can see Nocturne is kind of hovering around. He doesn't have a no. Alternate are actually converging on top.
They know he's in here. Twisted Fate's coming up. Ferrenalot's coming up. There's the teleport from Twisted Fate. They're gonna pick one. It goes on to Macklin. Nice Zyro. Will he get the knock up? It does get two. J.Ree's going very low. Macklin's on the run, trying to get the kill, but he can't quite do it. Misses ult completely. Nice positioning from J.Ree, gets him out. Alternate will pick up double. Ferrenalot with one. Aranea with the other. Limbic does get the kill onto J.Ree as he leaves. But this tower is now looking very dangerous. McCarthy catches that slow from Ferrenalot.
That was a beautiful play from Alternate. They converged on that. Great. Gragas came around. He didn't have TP anymore. He didn't need it. He's just naturally very fast. And they're going in on the Nocturne.
Fear. McCarthy does get very aggressive. Of course, Ferrenalot was taking the tower a lot longer than he needed to. He's down very low already. They're going to switch in. They're going to take the tower down very quickly, but the teleport's already coming out. Immediately have to disengage. Turret dead. Doesn't matter. The TP would have completed, but it did get cancelled. Charu is now fighting Metalix in the mid lane, taking a lot of damage for his trouble. Going to switch back up into cannon form. Misses that last shock blast.
Wow, I saw that hit. Maybe I didn't quite have the minus for the EQ combination, or maybe it was just on cooldown. But yeah, alternate, they're definitely bringing us back.
He's charging, he flashes, double flash, Cho's out. That was flash for flash.
They're putting so much pressure on MYM, but here's the problem. MYM, they're going to heal, and both Shen and Nocturne's ultimates are up. And the question is, how deep are alternate going to go, knowing this? TF's ultimate is down. He did made great use of that. They got 2 great kills. But Shen and Nocturne's up, the ball's in MYM's court again.
5 seconds on the Dragon spawn. MYM and alternate both know this timing. We did just see a round of bases from Meteor Makers, and they are all now converging down onto this Dragon Pit. Alternate a little bit later, they've still got 3 members in base. J Reed's going to get caught by that snare. The burst goes out, and he gets destroyed by the Meteor Makers combo. Nocturnal is now on cooldown, though, so that vision blocker is no longer available. Cubon going to base, but remember, he still has his ultimate should he wish to come and join this. And the Dragon has been started. The pink ward's gone, so they know the vision is out of the question from alternate. Cubon does cancel his recall, and it looks like alternate just going to give this one up.
That was a beautiful snare from Zyra setting up that kill. The problem with support Twisted Fate is mid Twisted Fate, they build movement speed. That's their defensive stat. Twisted Fate doesn't have an escape. All he has is gold tides. You have to kite, you have to stack movement speed. You can't really do that on support Twisted Fate because you need so much defensive stats and you need the gold per 10 and such. I'm not quite sure if he's going gold per 10. He might have gone health. But otherwise, Zyra making big plays, securing the Dragon because they picked up a free TF.
Yeah, he's got that Ruby Sight Sense. There's a bit of health involved in that. He has got a Fairy Charm, could build it into a Philo Stone in a bit. That will give him a GP10. Kerp coming around, he has found Makati here, and the red buff has started to be annoying. The smite comes out early, but Makati gets it anyway. And that does prompt Kerp to back away. Catching him by surprise. Could have flipped that and perhaps got the red buff on Singed, but never mind, it does stick on him. You'll make a side. Frenilor grabbed himself that blue buff with the help of Aranea's Bear. Just back to pushing this mid lane. So a little bit of a quiet period, but Shen now has his Sunfire Cape and is going to settle down into his split push bot lane all day.
Yeah, he has his ultimate up with the Sunfire Cape. He's able to shove that lane a lot nicer. I'm surprised it's not top. Singed is going to be top, actually. I guess I'm surprised they're not doing some like coordinated ganks on Singed, but he hasn't spent too much time like really deep. We saw in the LCS the other day, when Kevin was on Singed, there was organized efforts just to take Singed down, and it worked really well. I'm wondering if we're going to see any of that sort of play from MYM.
We do have Shen going top now because they realize they need to counteract that split push. Nocturne's up there with him, but these two do not look strong enough to take down that Singed. Do you see Blade of the Ruined King's finished on both AD carries? They are pushing onto this bottom turret. Macklin now trying to defend against 3 members of alternate. Takes half his health in damage in the process, but the rest of MYM now closing in to help him out. And of course, Nocturne in mid is going to have the ultimate in about 20 seconds and should be able to come and join should anything crazy happen.
Yep. I don't think Nocturne's ult will be up too early because Volibear is coming around the side of this.
They're not going to go in. Charu goes in on Methex as the snare lands. Zyra ult goes out, forces the flash away Methex, but he's going very, very low from the ignite. Does get a last second heal out. Just enough to save his life, but the tower's still standing. Makati's nearby, not in range to ult. Caitlyn will base to safety, but there's still 2 members of alternate down there in the shape of J-Ree and Pharrell.
Good patience from Shen there. He didn't quite ult in. He wasn't too sure if he needed to. The fight was going in their favor. They were quite unlucky, I think, not to pick up the kill. Alternate were keeping a good distance just in case anything happened. But overall, MYM are putting some great pressure on, knowing they have the Shen ult. Singed is watching Shen like a hawk, just in case he ults.
Aranea does get caught by that fear, but it runs him to safety rather than back, and he gets the smite on that big Wraith. Oh, well played. Just dragged it around the corner far enough. Frenil's still now pushing this bottom lane. Ultimately, this tower has next to no health. It's only a matter of time before it falls, even with the 2 members of MYM here trying their best to defense it.
Yeah, it's the little things sometimes. You smite the big Wraith, it's like, really, dude, you're going to do that to me? But ultimately,
it helps.
Yeah, it doesn't matter too much. Not much going on in the top lane. Singed is kind of just watching Shen, and big ult in the mid.
Nocturne does come straight into Jerry, forces the flash away instantly. Very quick response. Aranea was also there nearby with that fling, so MYM are not chasing that any further. So nice try, but a good reaction from alternate.
There's great confidence from MYM when they're going in on stuff like that. You know, Volibear was on the map, so they weren't too worried about that because they had the Shen ult and Singed was nothing there.
Oh, the explosive cast pushes Mackler in a horrible position. Another barrel does land, but now the Shen ult's there. Frenilor gets snared up by Libic. Twisted Fate ult's coming out. Where's he going to TP? Into a very, very safe position. Don't know if he's going to get in range of MYM because he doesn't have flash. Does get the stun cut down on Libic, but there's no other follow-up damage because the barrel's already been used by Gragas, and MYM survive it.
Great job by Kirk cancelling that Shen ult. Shen in that fight would have been a disaster.
Aranea gets the fling onto Charu, pulls him out of the turret range. Charu going very low, but they don't want to follow it any further as they do not know where the rest of MYM are. That bot tower finally fallen. Charu now trying to defend the mid-tier 2.
The great thing from Alternate here is the moment they know Nocturne and Shen ult are down, they are going crazy with aggression, and we have a pause coming out.
Dude, it looks like it's Aranea with issues. We'll find out exactly what they are, but big issue.
That's the game.
Find out exactly. But let's talk about exactly how the game's sitting at the moment. There's a 2,000 gold advantage here for Alternate. It was very, very close until they just picked up that bottom and top tower, and it's now 3 turrets to 1 in general.
Yep.
So they have a little bit of bonus map control, and how useful is that against a team with 2 global ultimates like that?
Very useful because Shen's ult, really what he wants to do, especially later on, he wants to have a lane shoving, he wants to be in that lane when they're forcing the fights, and then he wants to come in. Singed is a great pick against that, but Singed doesn't have teleport, so it's going to be on the onus to Kerp. He's been doing a great job so far of cancelling Shen ults, so I think Alternate, they know that, they're going to have that, you know, they're going to be able to deal with that, and looks like the teams are ready. We should be getting back into this soon.
Yeah, well, let's just look at the gold numbers, and hopefully they'll be ready when we come back to the game screen for you. But most of these champions are within 1/200 of their lane partners, other than Makler to Metalex, the AD carries. Caitlyn on 6.9k and Varus on 5.9k, so there's 1,000 difference. And as soon as we're back, the aggression is onto Ferenlord. Charu chasing down there with the help of Makati. Barrel does go out, so their attack speed is slow, but Aranea is coming in. Can he get there in time? Ferenlord's very low, actually flings Charu closer, so he does flash on top of him and gets the extra kill in hammer form. Aranea, not the best fling direction, and he gets out of there with his life, but MYM are now trying to back away. There's no support here for Aranea, so he has to be careful how far he chases this.
Oh, nice loot landing down from Zyra.
Does get the loot in. And there's the knockup comes out, follow-up ultimate from Makler. Big health steal coming up from that Blade of the Ring King. Does pick up the kill on the AD carry. Now Kerp's here, the Ignite goes down. Will it be enough to finish off Makler as he retreats? Jerry survived, it is the kill. Aranea come across from bottom lane, he gets there before MYM. Livix got flung out, he's going to get dropped. Double kill for Singed, they have to run away from Cubon. And now Charu has got back to help them too. He's got Home Guard, so he's healed to full. Arena's passive ticking in, but he's been ignited. Kerp's just trying to do the Singed thing now. Flinging, being a bit of a nuisance, basically, running around that poison. Eleanor, TP, Home Guard, very low health, great explosive pass, brings Cubon back out into the fight, but he's still alive, taking as much damage onto Jerry as he can. They do finally finish off Kerp. Charu's got a lot of damage on him. Makati and Charu now, just like we saw before, chasing Ferenlord in bottom lane. There's the ult from Makati, picks up Jerry, only Ferenlord left standing and out on the map. We do have Metalax back on the fountain. Ferenlord is a little bit exposed, cut off. Here comes the Fear Tether. Which way is he going to run him? Runs him to safety, but he's slowed nonetheless. It does get the body slam onto Makati. Dodges away from that cube. Makati doing a lot of auto attacks. Pops the spell shield, dodges that next barrel with it. Nice flash away from the body slam. It might just have saved his life.
Where to even start? So much happened in that fight. Gragas TP, he did a beautiful ult on Shen. Shen just never died though. Shen was on such... he took us so much damage, but eventually came back and taunted her. People just started arriving and arriving again. Great initiate, great engage from Alternate, but eventually they just stuck around too long. Particularly Singed, he did a great ignite on, and wow, big chase coming on Caitlyn.
Yeah, Maddox getting caught out as he tries to get around towards that dragon, taking a lot of damage, but not quite enough to lose his life. Makati now comes save that dragon tank off of Gragas, who body slammed over the wall to safety. And due to the health lost by Alternate, that does give MYM another dragon and the gold lead.
Yeah, they just inch out the gold lead again. Alternate, they played that really well, but people just started showing up again. They got some nice kills. Singed, he's showing how effective he can be, just how much he can tank, but ultimately, he stuck around too long.
Look at the change in gold numbers there. I mentioned just after that pause how even most of these laners were, especially the mid laners. But suddenly now, Gragas is 1,000 gold behind Charu's Jace. Charu 5 and 1, picking up a lot of kills in his last few engagements. Still about 1,000 gold difference in the AD carries. Singed and Shen still fairly close, as are the junglers. But ultimately, when you've got Charu's Jace that far ahead doing that much extra damage, it's going to start to cause some problems for Alternate.
Yeah, Charu was a big factor in that huge team fight they just had. He came charging down with home guards, landed every EQ, cleaned up and picked up a bunch of kills.
We do see Alternate trying to make something happen here now into mid. Aranea charges forward onto Macro. Explosive cast comes out, does knock him in, but the Singe Doll's there. Perennial gets nuked down, and Aranea gets caught in the snare chain. Yeah, and they're chasing him off to one side, heading towards this blue buff. Macro doing a lot of damage. The passive kicks in, but he gets executed. Curb now trying to finish off McCarthy, but the Fear Tether runs him straight back into MYM, and they are so strong. Curb trying to run away, trying to just stay alive as best he can, but even with Singe's ultimate running, MYM come chasing down, and McCarthy with a beautiful ult back across towards the mid lane, catches onto J Reed, but a quick stun card and a flash gets him to safety as Medlex pushes this tier 2 bottom lane turret.
This Zyra play has been incredible. Just the count, they think they're going in. Alternate, oh, like, right guys, let's go. Gragas, great ult. But Zyra ult just cancelled everything out. Gragas knocked up. He ate a massive EQ and a beautiful taunt from Shen.
J Reed teleporting in to his death. He knew that was going to happen, but he cancelled Charu's base. That's what he was looking for. The Baron was gone. There was no way he was stealing that. He wanted to save Metalex some time here to do more damage to this bottom turret, and it worked exactly. Now, though, the rest of the TPs are coming in. The bases for MYM didn't manage to get the turret down further than half, and with the home guards, he's going to have to leave.
Look at this Jace. He is 8-1, Bloodthirster, Last Whisper, cooldown boots. He is going to be doing so much damage. If these Zyra ults keep landing and they knock up the right people, the EQ, it's not a question of if it hits, it's just when it's going to hit. I mean, Black Cleaver, not Bloodthirster.
It's very armor pen heavy, but as you say, not so sustaining until there. He now picks up a Vamp Scepter and another longsword, and is looking like a Blade of the Ruined King, quite likely. What a surprise.
Yeah, well, Blade of the Ruined King did get Varus a kill earlier on. It shows how effective that item is. Just the steal of the movement speed and the health,
especially against the Singe.
Yeah, can completely turn a team by it.
So, MYM now sitting pretty. They're only 2,000 got up, but with that Baron buff on, they're all so strong. They've got extra 40 ability power, some more attack damage, health, and mana regen. And there's even a build Water Cutlass now built up on Nocturne. He's got the Aegis the Legion first. He's got a very defensive style there, but realizing he's not taking too much damage, he's not taking too much focus, he can start building a little bit more damage orientated, and with a red pot stuck into the mix, it's going to start to hurt.
Yeah, Nocturne, sometimes you see him as the initiator. In this team, I mean, in this game, he's not really had that. He's been more of a clean-up ult, sort of like how you tend to see Twisted Fates do. Really, that's because down to the Zyra. Zyra's ults have been hitting so many people and the right people that they haven't had to have a hard initiate. That does all the work for them.
You see Aranea toying with them, coming in towards this mid lane. They're trying to defend this turret with their wave clear. They've got a lot of it, but they're still taking quite a bit of damage. J Reed, that is 2 EQ combos, 2 Shock Blast Acceleration Gate combos from Charu, and J Reed has to leave the lane before risk of life. You do see a little bit more poke, this time hitting Aranea, but MYM are keeping this pressure up. They want to take this mid-tower down. There's another low health warning, this time onto Metalex, because he took a big chunk of damage to the face, and we see McCarthy actually toying with the idea of rotating towards top lane, where Kerp is facing off against Shen. McCarthy is sitting in a perfect position here to ult either mid or top lane, depending on where the engage goes first. And it is going to go mid. Aranea is going to get nuked down the second that turret dies. And MYM is going to keep this slow, steady push up the middle lane.
This Zyra Jace combo is proving absolutely devastating against Alternate. Zyra is landing every single ult on a nice taunt top lane.
Cubon does pick up Kerp. The Fear Tether's going to come out. He flashes away, make sure it doesn't tick. Cubon's tanking most of the damage now for this turret. The Ignite is down to Kerp. He's running, but Charu's coming across. Does dodge around the bush, make sure he can get the slow off. But he will inevitably die in a minute. There we go. Build Water Cutlass used by McCarthy just to secure it. And he doesn't pick up that final kill. That's going to be a turret as well. And they will bring the count to 4 and 3.
Great awareness from Jace. He came all the way from mid lane just to cut Singed off. There was nowhere he could run. And it just shows you how much control they have of this map right now. That Jace could single, just on his own, walk straight through that jungle to cut off a Singed. I mean, how often does that happen? Yeah,
when you have picked off that bear, when you have picked off that jungler, you know it's safe, you know it's covered. And of course, they've got the map control. They've been in this half of the jungle for so long, they know there's no wards there. There's now Makler left pushing this mid on his own with the rest of the team just hiding off the side. McCarthy gets the Shen ult, waits a couple of seconds to give it the time. Ult's in on top of J Reed. They nuke him down as soon as Shen lands. The taunt was a good shot. Perennial body slams over into his base. Meta taking a lot of damage. Makler usually Blade of the Ruined King. Charu with a massive shock blast combo. Lands it on Metalex's face. They pick up the tier 2 turret and now rotate straight to top.
Beautiful play right there. Great coordination with the Shen ult on the Nocturne, just going straight on a squishy. There was nothing Twisted Fate could do in that situation. And this is just some great coordinated, constant aggression from MYM, and they are so confident with how they're playing with each other. It's a pleasure to see.
I must admit, I'm really not impressed by this crazy strat for Alternate, this Twisted Fate support. It was a nice idea, shove that mid lane, get very aggressive, get that turret early, got plenty of mana, regen of course from those blue cards, got that wave clear with his wild cards, and then Caitlyn's built over Peacemaker, but other than that, he hasn't really made too much of an impact, and he's just 0-7.
Right, well, if the support's picking up the kills, then he's either Edward or he's doing something wrong, kind of. They had massive wave clear early on, and they were trying to shove that mid tower in, but MYM, they had Jace, they had a great actual wave clear in that, so the mid tower lasted a while. It was the first tower to go down on MYM's side, and Alternate did get a good boost from that, but after that, it's, okay, he's done some great initiates, like hard CC, when there's 1v1 going on, turning their fights, but after that, he's kind of fallen off. He's so squishy.
Yeah, there is the plus side, of course, 0-7. He's not going to be worth much gold at all, so they can't initiate him every time, but provided that's the only kill they get, it's not getting them much money. But every time they're doing this, they're getting objectives, they're getting towers, they're getting dragons, and those are bringing in cash, those are bringing in advantages, and they did just pick themselves up another dragon. With Baron spawning in a minute 30 seconds, Alternate, they are going to have a rough idea. Of course, they did see J-Reed teleport in onto it, they're going to know roughly when it died. But MYM are that much stronger. They have that map control. They have an Oracle's up on Libic now, so he's going to start roaming around, clearing out the few wards that Alternate have placed. And this next fight could decide the outcome of this game.
One thing I actually absolutely love about MYM is how everyone is building a Blade of the Ruined King. 3 of them already have one. One person has a Bilgewater Cutlass. When's Zyra going to get one? That's what I want to know.
After the Aegis of the Legion, which is on its way. Which is interesting considering there's already a Bulwark up on Nocturne.
Yeah, well, stacking it still kind of makes sense. There's lots of magic damage on Alternate and little blow trade between the junglers, but nothing too much going to come out of that. Alternate, they're scared to go in their own jungle again, and this is what hurt them against TCM. Someone eventually face-checked, died, and it lost them the game.
Because the bigger thing here, Nocturne having the Bulwark, Nocturne's going to go deep within enemy lines and have the Bulwark benefit on himself and Shen. He's not going to be with Libic, he's not going to be with Chari, he's not going to be with Makla, so they're not going to get the Aegis buff. If Libic has it, they will. Cuban does get flung past his tower. Kerp didn't really seem to do much, he just taunts away again. Don't worry about the damage. Blade of the Ruined King onto Kerp, trying to run out. McCarthy puts the fear down, another Blade of the Ruined King, and that Singed is going nowhere. Alternate did try and loop around onto it, so it was 100% necessary, but the rest of MYM now given free reign over this mid lane and this inhibitor turret.
But that was Singed ult down. I think they're going to go really deep on something shortly. They're shoving the top lane, they're shoving the mid lane. They're going to converge on either top or mid pretty quickly.
We do see Alternate charging in. Aranea wants to be the one there, flashes over, doesn't get the fling thanks to good slow. Now the ult comes out from Makla, it's going to chain, it's going to catch onto J-Ray. Nocturne ult comes out, he goes on to Metalik, going to try and get that fear down. Knock up does come out from Zyra. Good torn away from Cuban, he gets knocked back quickly. Alternate trying to disengage, they're actually doing a lot of damage to MYM here. Makati will fall, Curbs the next focus, he's just trying to dodge around, his poison's ticking, doesn't get the last fling out. Alternate holding steady, but MYM have a lot of health, and Cuban is still in a position where he can face tank this tower.
That was, again, another amazing route from the Zyra player. The moment Alternate are like, okay, let's pull back to the tower, Zyra lands a clutch route on the Caitlyn.
Chari wants
Caitlyn
this.
Stuck out in nowhere.
He's going in, he got stunned up under turret, though it's very risky, he's going very low. J-Reed can't quite finish him off, Ferenelor's looking for it, but he disengaged safely, and the inhibitor is exposed. Makla doing what he can, but Alternate still trying to defend it. There's a good gold card, comes out, stuns him up. Alternate Ferenelor's still around, but that will inevitably fall.
Wow, so yeah, as I was saying, it was kind of even, okay, Alternate were kind of on the back, but when they tried to get back to the tower, Zyra, Snake, Caitlyn, everyone was running back. No one, I don't think they actually noticed Caitlyn got rooted, and all of a sudden she was 1v4 and she went down in an instant. And then MYM used that pressure, they could just dive straight past the turret. Jace hitting some amazing EQs, he's so big right now, 11-1.
Infinity Edge completed now on Varus, so his damage output has just skyrocketed. Alternate have used this opportunity to go straight in towards the Baron. They know Shen ult is down and they saw him in the bottom lane, but he is starting to run up the map. Vision has been gained by Cherry through a couple of shock blasts, and they see that the Baron has begun, but it's going down very, very slowly. And MYM are converging towards in one side. More poke goes out. Metalix taking it. Aranea already half alive. Beautiful taunt from Cubon. Hits Metalix at the far end of the fight. He has to disengage and get away, but McCarthy goes straight through to find him. That's the first casualty. Curb now trying to do his best to be annoying, but it's not going to matter. He's just getting killed. Beautiful explosive cast puts Makler actually out of the fight. For Eleanor flashing over the wall. MYM though very, very low. One barrel could call the end of all of them. J-Ree gets caught out with another beautiful snare from Libic. He is on fire today, and McCarthy has found himself a fat Esquire Gragas to body slam away from.
You have to feel sorry for that Caitlyn in that fight. Shen got a great taunt, Blade of their own king. Caitlyn's like, okay, I finally got away, and maybe I'm on half health. Nocturne goes in, another Blade of their own king. You can't kite with
Teleport
that.
coming in from a home guard for Lord. He tries to get in, but the Baron dies just as he lands. Curb's still here with him, but he's trying to disengage. Barrow hits 3 people, but McCarthy spell shields it, and he's got the speed boost to close in. Of course, Blade of their own king not quite off cooldown yet, but he's going to keep chasing for Lord. Full mana on him, though. This is risky. Catty's got Libic and Makler in tow. There's the body slam back for the slow. Does try and dodge away from it, but there's a quick speed boost again. He's still going to stay in range, and the Blade of the Ring King comes up any second. There it is. He uses it. The move speed has been stolen. The health has been stolen. This spear will definitely land. Ferenlord wants a body slam away. Can he get there in time? He does. Makler fires over the wall. Misses anyway. Ferenlord is on the run. And is he going to make it? McCutty still chasing. His ult's going to be up in about 20 seconds. But Ferenlord is out and safe, and they're going to rotate around towards bottom lane where Metalex, J-Ree, and Aranea are horribly exposed.
Nice stun card from J-Ree, does cancel that aggression. Gragas, I mean, some people might question him going in trying to steal that Baron, but MYM just wasted so much time trying to chase him. They just got a Baron buff. They want to be pressuring towers with this. Their lanes aren't really pushing yet. You know, they wasted a good chunk of time chasing that Gragas, and he bought Alternate a breather.
Yeah, the rest of his team farmed up, shopped up, didn't have to worry too much. They did lose a second Baron though, and they are now down by 8 or 10,000 gold, almost. About 9.2 if we're going to be specific. Dragon respawns, and that will make it 10,000 because Libic is on his way straight over there. Will undoubtedly engage that and start it as McCarthy comes to join him. Alternate not looking like they really want to contest it. It's not worth losing the game over one quick Dragon fight. They are still grouped, still trying to farm up mid, trying to get a little bit of gold on Twisted Fate, but it looks like up to 36 CS.
Yeah, while they have bought a breather, here's the problem. MYM, all their ults are back up again. They have the Shen ult, they have the Nocturne ult. They've shown they know how to use that combination to deadly effect. And Alternate, I'm really worried for them right now. How can they really bring this out?
There is a Bloodthirster now on Jace. Before he builds his Blade of the Ring King complete, but he's got a dagger to undoubtedly go in and complete that next time he faces. And there was that Drake. So there is that 10,000 gold lead for Meet Your Makers. Second Aegis to Legion complete now up on Zyra. Don't know if she's going to take it all the way to Bulwark. I don't really think she needs it. The back line of damage for Alternate is not exactly there. They cannot get to Makler particularly well. But Ferenlord is outputting quite a bit if he lands a good explosive cask.
This tower's gone. There's not much they can do about that. Singed is backing because they want to focus on this bot tower. Oh, I think Shen stopped the Singed back. So there's a good window of opportunity here for MYM. If Shen ults the Nocturne just goes in, Singed is not going to be there in time.
Yeah, Kerp is recoiling. He wants to try and help out his team. He's going to home guard once he lands. Cubon not willing to stop that TP. He's just going to face tank this tower down and get that kill. Here comes Singed. Not willing to go straight for the engage then. MYM holding on to this. They're going to lose or kill that tier 2 turret top. There we go. All the turrets outside of alternate space are now down. And a game where they started off with the turret leading a 3-1 situation, they're now down 7-4. McCarthy rotating around towards top, so now both globals are up here, and they will be able to go and join that bottom lane in a matter of seconds when they're ready for it. But Aranea taking a lot of poke and a Blade of the Ring King. J-Ree the same. They've already forced Metalex back to the fountain to heal. Curb's gone to try and deal with top lane, but it's no good. Turret will fall. Inhibitor is exposed. They're going to start to work on that very shortly. Mid turret is, of course, mid inhibitor, of course, down still. Blade of the Ring King gets Cuban out to safety. Makler takes a bit of poke, but he does get the turret all the same.
Gragas went top then. They're trying to put pressure on the Shen Nocturne, but just there's pressure from everywhere.
Yeah, J-Ree has to go. He cannot stay there. That poke from Charo does a lot of damage to him, and Alternate are being dismantled from the inside out. MYM take down one inhibitor bottom. Now going to have to rotate around and help the guys in the top lane. Curb heal for Eleanor taking very low, but McCarthy and Cuban doing so much extra damage. They managed to kill him straight up, despite being an even 2v2. And J-Ree gets nuked down in a second. That's got to be game. There's no one left up to try and defend this alternate base now, and those that were here are incredibly squishy. Libic goes in, there's the ult comes out from McCutty, going to get onto Meletalex. He is destroyed, and Libic doesn't care that he's face-taking the turret. Shenno comes out to try and save him. Kerp comes in with a home guard. Turret dies anyway. There's an ult from Mackley. Does catch Kerp out on the edge of the fountain. Can they kill him before he heals? Yes, they do. Charo flashes for safety. Nexus is exposed, and meet your makers.